This is, first of all, good morning. I get up usually 4:30, 20 after 4, and stumble around in the dark in desperate need of a coffee, which I go and buy. And then I go down by the river here and try to soothe my soul watching the submarine races. So the drag for older is meant to help older people who don't get much of a tutelage on YouTube, because everyone's 20 to 35 and has flawless skin and 10 years experience. They say, I assume that most people who are dressing like a female are looking for a relationship with a male, although this is not 100% true. A lot of cross-dressers call themselves lesbians because they're still interested or only interested in sex with females. There's so many issues here, and not just with my hair. I saw a video of a French fashionista girl, and she said, "Don't comb your hair because French girls are too busy with their intellectual pursuits, going to art galleries and writing poetry to bother with combing their hair. It's part of the look." Okay. I'm torn between these two. I put on a wig sometimes and it's all messy down here and it looks very sexy. And then I go, oh, maybe I should just comb it a little bit. And I comb it a little bit and I wind up combing out the whole thing, which takes half an hour. A good hint is when you come home, take your wig off, put it on a wig stand and comb it out so it's ready for the next time you want to use it. Peter Gockeritz, a butcher, said tomorrow was lost the night before, which turned out to be true. So I'm going to be doing a video. The de-drag videos are just as important as the drag videos because you need to take care of your skin. And the makeup has to come off. And skincare has to go on. The best and easiest skincare after makeup removal is to put a thin layer of Vaseline there, which will protect your skin from antioxidant damage. And the 3 most beautiful and ageless women on the planet do this. One of them is Raquel Welch, 90 years old. Looks 45. Diane Lane, the ageless Diane Lane. And Deborah Missing. Yeah. Well, the reason I say these things is I met a man who was he's older, he's way above 70, I don't know how old he is, it could be 80. He's very lively, he comports himself well, he sings, was the MC at the legendary drag shows in Los Angeles and San Francisco. And he says, always dress your absolute best and do your makeup because you never know when you're going to meet somebody. or get an opportunity to sell your show. I was talking to a very nice and wonderful and humble lady outside of a place where I go to the jam session, and because she's so nice, she's well loved, and this woman came out with huge blonde hair and huge boobs and sort of a biker babe persona, and came into the conversation, and the conversation, I think the place is empty. They had comedy night, everybody went home afterwards. And I said, well, since we're going there with empty buildings, I play music and have done so for a lifetime. And we wound up having a conversation about me playing there. She gave me her card, and this is accidental. Plus a better way to meet, because it wasn't like me cold calling her or walking in and saying, I'm the greatest, give me your money. It was casual. And next time I went in there, she called me, waved me over, sit down, sit down. So I'm gonna have to split my videos into the early morning ones, which are, I do the absolute minimum. I'm just coming down here for coffee. One of my personal rules is just to not look like a clown. I'm not going to throw on a $5 wig that's chopped off here with scissors and lipstick without liner and no eye makeup at all. So I do, what I don't do is foundation and contouring to do these things. So I do eyebrows, eyelids, eyeliner, and lipstick, and a little bit of something on the cheeks, maybe blush, or maybe I powder the whole face down with brown. I mean, that's it. And necklace at 6 a.m. The dress I'm wearing is scandalously thin. Goes splurling. Behind that is the anthropological fact that men are visual creatures, and somebody knowledgeable said when a caveman looks at anything that moves in the bushes, his thoughts are, can I eat it? Or can I have sex with it? And that's still going on. So if you're looking for companionship of any kind, you need to look like something that can have sex with rather than barbecue. Should change my drag name to Barbara Barbecue. I was talking to a guy, for example, I was being dressed up. I was talking to a man in a bar 3 days back, and it turned out he was a Hollywood lighting expert and has did it for 50 years. And he had stories of movies that we've seen, like The River of No Return. He's the guy who did the lighting. He had pictures from the shoot, and it was a movie with Marilyn Monroe and somebody else. I'm going to be doing some videos to promote my musical career, and I'm going to ask him to do the lighting. So now he's my friend because I asked him about his life instead of telling him about my life. Well, he'd have a lot of questions. So now I can legitimately asking him to help me, and I'm getting a world-class lighting man, and I own some lighting, so he might be charmed by that. Something else that might help, it's working for me, is there are affirmations online for being beautiful or having an attractive presence. And you see people like famous people, mostly women. Jennifer Lawrence, for example, and the scrappy little nobody girl, Anna Kendrick, keeps saying they have these thoughts, yeah, you're not good enough and no one likes you. And these are voices in the subconscious. Or we don't need to be psychiatrists, psychologists, anywhere that's not in the present moment, where voices are in the dark saying you're not good enough and no one likes you. Trying to undermine your ta-da. So these voices will have a number. Let's say there's 400 of them. If you're listening to affirmations, they're subliminal, which means they play sounds so you can't hear what the words are, but your higher perceptions hear the words and store them. So when you get more than 400 of these, they overwhelm the other voices, and you start. So it's like positive thinking. If you radiate positive, you attract positive back. So if you change your internal numbers, you'll get treated better. And I'm finding it hasn't really changed me, but people want to talk to me. And I listen to them instead of trying to tell my stories too, which is a fault. We all have other people would like to tell you their stories. Communication. And it's not necessary for you to go tit for tat with a story back that's the same as their story. So I think this is obvious. We all know this, but we don't practice it because the little I want to tell my story demon is going, I want to tell my story, I want to tell my story. Well, you can tell your story later as pillow talk or over a candlelit dinner in a restaurant overlooking the river. I'm losing my vision to macular degeneration. Runs in the family, unfortunately. My grandmother went blind from it. She still ruled the family with her white cane. Whack. So I used to come down here and just look. So the first impressions of my morning are a beautiful running river and green grass, green trees, people walking their dogs, gentle breezes, backwards fighting over seeds. But now, as Janice Joplin said, I'm have these eye exercises to do, which are boring as hell. And one of the reasons I'm getting macular is I've been staring at a computer screen since 2010, 18 hours a day. And you don't use much of your eye. It's just same focus, same point. And this slows down the blood flow through the eyes, so the eye exercises are look left and right, up and down, squeeze your eyes, look in circles, and go and watch something like a hockey game or tennis where you have to follow motion out there, and this is exercise for the eyes. And like any other part of the body, if you exercise it, the muscles get stronger, there's more blood flow. So this is not a cure, but a treatment or something you can actually do. And the white man doctors espouse this. I also found a Qui-Gon practitioner who said the same thing. He said the cure for macular degeneration is to look up and just look back and forth. And squeeze your eyes shut. So there's probably something to this. So now I have something to do down here besides staring at the ducks. And I did learn there are ducks here because I'm in Canada and we still have wild animals. I was in Germany a long time ago, 40 years ago, and there were no wild animals because they've eaten them all. The only wild animals there are American rock stars on tour. So, I guess what do you call this thing? The videos are called Drag for Older, but I don't have much drag on at 6 a.m. and most of the videos are right now from the 6 a.m. down by the river because it's easy to fast to do, and the other, I don't have a studio to do the longer tutorials, but I'm getting back into playing music in public again, so I'm going to have to do full-on drag. So that takes maybe an hour and 40 minutes. Because there's a drying time between applications. You have to wash your face, get the oil off it, use alcohol to take the oil off the eyebrows, then put on moisturizer and let that dry, and that can take 7 to 10 minutes. When the moisturizer is done, I have large pores, so I need to put on a spackle-like primer. And I put that on with a brush and try to fill the pores. And that takes 4 minutes to dry. So then I have a slightly tacky surface. And then foundation. I put the primer on with the brush, and I put the foundation on with a beauty blender. And this upper area, I have a slightly lighter foundation by MAC, and from here down I have a slightly darker foundation. which is a trick I learned from a professional makeup artist. They said, why try to struggle with coloring and contouring your face? Just use a lighter primer, a darker primer, or foundation. What a great idea. My beard always shows through, so I use the orange color corrector. The number one clockable thing about cross-dress, trans, drag, whatever, is the beard showing through. Which doesn't matter, because if you become completely passable, you're just another woman. You're competing with all other women. Cross, trans people have some cachet. There is a crowd that prefers, idolizes, or fetishizes us. However, aesthetically, it's too bad. You see someone with a fabulous bone structure and fabulous makeup, and peeking through the foundation is the blue beard. In the pour with the hair in it, you can smear the orange over top, but still there's in the center that blue hair which has been sliced off by shaving, and you can't quite cover that without using a whole bunch of orange and pushing it up with a brush into the pores. The last step, and this is hard to get, only MAC makes this, is orange powder. You put orange powder over the top and it seals the holes. So that's a separate trip to the MAC store to get that. I think they're probably like $30 for that. I have an orange pot which has lasted me for 6 years. So it's a good buy. And when you're putting on the foundation, cover this area last, because as you're putting this on, the bleed blender will pick up a bit of the orange, and you have to be clever and artistic with covering the orange without picking up enough that it starts, you wouldn't want to start smearing that around the rest of your face. And the foundation has to dry. After that, you have a blank canvas, which you need to recolorize. So you're going to need something dark here to promote cheekbone. You're going to need some blush here, and then you're going to need a highlighter. I just bought went to my most intelligent makeup lady, and I said I need a highlighter that you can see from space, and she got me a highlighter I can see from space. I don't have what brand that is memorized, but it's actually too good. So it probably lasts me forever. It's very, very strong. So I'm going to highlight here, the middle of the nose, and the hairline above the Cupid's bow, and in here. So line down the center of the face. So when you, that's the gentle art of, I use powders, is getting these blended things to look like they're not really there. And that's back to what the 20 to 35-year-old tutorials are about is getting that blending to be on. And then I do my lips last. There are lip primers. I would suggest you use them. Protect the lips. Liquid lipsticks dry and last all day, but they're very hard on the skin. I'm using lipsticks that are I prefer to use the matte ones, but I found out that the ones that are not matte, actually the reason they're slippery is they have moisturizer in them. So I'm going to have to put up with it. I line my lips. Mostly I overdraw them, but sometimes I just do my natural lips, which are very tiny. Which is a look I called CS mouth. You can figure that one out. You have to brush your teeth before you start doing your face, otherwise you get toothpaste dribble all over the place. Mouthwash. So it's quite a process. And I know this compulsion will not go away. So be kind to yourself. Buy yourself an expensive wig. Buy one good real bra from a real bra store that actually fits you. And maybe get one, find a dressmaker who's not overpriced. And by overpriced, I mean, can you sew up this 4-inch rip in the seam? Yes, that'll be $25. A little much for that. Also materials, try to use the real stuff. It just feels better on your body, like cottons and silks, rather than the artificial. Nylon, Krylon, Darlon, anything that's with on. They're not warm. They're good for summertime when there's a breeze, and they don't feel feminine on your skin. So I see a lot of ladies I wish would, I've been doing this for a long time, and I don't have the right face to be doing this, or the right body. I need a brand new me. So there are many tutorials online about your face shape and what shape of wig you should be using to maximize your femininity. There are many tutorials online about figuring out what your undertone is, which will give you wig colors and makeup colors. There are clothing body type tutorials, which will educate you in what the maximum advantageous clothing style for your body type. So no matter what you start with, if you have the right wig, the right color, the right complementary colors to your eyes, the right foundation to go with your skin, the right kind of jewelry, the right kind of clothing, whether it's a little black mini dress or a pantsuit in beige, you never know what's going to be the thing. You will be looking good, or better than, better than. And my belief is, don't wear your glasses in your pictures, especially if you're wearing your male glasses. Sunglasses make you cool, and you can also put them on top of your head like the Samoritz Playgirls, or you can hang them on your décolleté. Also, if you're going to wear glasses, you have to know your face shape and get the glasses that complement your skull shape and get them in a color that complements your skin and eyes. And all of this education will be something you can acquire on those lonely nights when you're sitting at home with a bottle of wine and your cat, thinking, I'm not good enough and nobody likes me. And then you turn on your affirmations and put it on loop and go to bed and let it play all night. You wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror and go, I'm smoking. And somebody might say, but you're not. And you say, try me. I don't have a cat, I have a plant. I have a dragon plant, which I got. Somebody had, where I was working, had 2 plants. She was going to let them die, and I took one and intended to give it back to her whenever she was more settled in. She moved out of town, and the thing is now almost 5 feet long. I'm going to have to sell it or give it away. It's a dragon plant. My mother had the same plant. It lasted for 25 years and grew to be 17 feet tall. So I'm stuck in a repeating lifetime play with my mother in this single plant, which she fed her leftover tea water to every day for 25 years. And the thing grew up to the ceiling, and she had to move it in the middle of the room to where it grew up to the skylight. And then she called the planetarium and said, I have this weird South American plant that I want to donate. And they said, no thanks, everyone wants to donate plants to us. And she explained the story. He came by on his way home, and apparently it was something rare, and to find one in that size alive in South America and have it shipped, that would have cost thousands. So we said we'll take it. And I went to visit it once, and what it looked like was a pool. And this is the 25-year timeline as it grew and grew and tried to get up in the sky. And the top looked like a busby because it had gone from a dark shop painted blue, clamoring for light, to the planetarium where they have the best soil in the world, the purest water, the perfect lighting, and air conditioning with lots of oxygen. It looked like it had literally died and gone to heaven. So I hope whoever gets the next plant will be an upgrade for it. I haven't started talking to it yet, but it lets me know when it wants water. And I think it thinks I'm a bad plant daddy. So, there you have it. Thursday. I'm going to karaoke tonight. Howling for my baby. I'm the oldest person there, and I'm the only trans drag person there, and I picked the best songs because I know the songs from the olden days, and oh, you pick such beautiful songs. Yeah. Yes, Queen, I guess. I belong to a group in my city called Girls in the Burbs, which is worldwide. You can join that if you want. But we do events at least one a month where we go to a restaurant in a grouping, and we have nights like Red Dress Night or Leather and Lace Night. This Saturday we're doing Leather or Blue Jean Night. And we get together and have dinner and a few drinks, a few laughs, and if there is one in your neighborhood, join one or start one, because a lot of people, I believe, are alone in this in their apartment with their subconscious saying, "You'll never be pretty and no one likes you." As far as being pretty, if you're a 10, you're a 10. I've told this story before. I'll tell it really quickly. I have laundry day. Everything needs to be washed. Absolutely everything. Because I am that bitch. So I've got all my laundry in my van, and what am I going to wear? Everything's dirty, so I had a dress that I got for Halloween once, and it was kind of like the dress that Lucy wears in Charlie Brown, but it was gray, and it was like a sock. And I had a wig. I'm going to run out of time here. My worst wig that I just hacked off with a pair of scissors. I don't think I did any makeup, and I'm in my van going to do my laundry looking like crap at a stoplight. And I feel somebody looking at me, so I look over and there's a guy in the van going like, hey baby, what's happening? So you don't have to be pretty. You just have to be out there, which is why they call it coming out. Which I encourage you to do. I haven't had any problems. I haven't been yelled at. I haven't had cat calls. I haven't had threats. The only irritating part is I look like this and people keep calling me sir. So I accidentally stumbled into the closet and went to put on my shirt, and it turned out to be a floor-length dress, and I went to put on my ball cap, and it turned out to be a 23-inch long blonde wig with... Obviously, I've been eating cherry pie and drinking Red Bull. So, I'm going to end this because my phone's going to die. It's telling me I've been a bad phone mommy. So make sure you have a nice day, and if you can't have a nice day, take somebody out.